my notes this time, though. No notes.
So we don't need no fucking notes.
I don't need no fucking notes, mate.
Oh, you know what we should do when we go big? You know how we edit these bits out?
Mm.
We should, like,
Leave them in?
DVD.
Of all
it
the
to
out bits?
Yeah. Sell it to all the fans behind the scenes.
OnlyFans.
We should create an OnlyFans account on Snapchat. $5 a month.
I might just leave this in.
Oops.
Alright. Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast.
Yes.
This is going to be a very relaxed episode because we usually do this at about, I don't know, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, around about lunchtime we normally record.
And it's like 7.
Yeah, almost.
So, I don't know. We're not early sleepers or anything, but I'm feeling a lot more tired than midday because usually we do the podcast before
Jiu-Jitsu.
I literally do anything else. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
before I do a workout sometimes, before we roll if we ever do. So I've done all that and I'm exhausted. My body's just like, ready to go to sleep. But I'm like, well, we got to do this podcast.
No, we got to do it. We got to stick to the plan A. We got to stick to the scheduling.
Well, yeah, especially with you going away next.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why we're actually recording a bit late. I normally have Mondays off with my work, but I'm actually flying to Sydney next week. End of this week to see my family because, I haven't seen them since this COVID-19 bullshit
Long
started.
time, right?
Yeah, because the borders were closed off, so I haven't seen them for a long time. I just want to go down, see them, see how they are.
So next episode might be a few days late.
Yeah,
or whatever,
maybe a day or so.
No stress.
Yeah.
I mean, we do it whenever it's all good, but that'll be nice to see your family, eh?
Oh man, I'm very looking.
So whereabouts is? Well, you don't have to say, but like, are they in the city or? What's the address? What's the web?
No, it's not really. It's a bit more out in the west. Actually, it takes me longer. Once I land in Sydney, the car drive home is usually longer than the flight, which is fucking annoying. And dude, Sydney traffic. One of the reasons why I actually moved here because of the Sydney traffic. I fucking hate it. There's P-platers everywhere. Dude, you barely see any P-platers here.
Yeah, not
Over
really.
there, you just see fucking red P-platers with their done-up cars. Just, it's so frustrating, man. I arrive in Sydney, I'm like, yep, I'm in Sydney.
Here we go. Oh, at least it's not in bloody Melbourne, bro.
Yeah.
Melbourne with their weird traffic rules and shit.
Yeah, I know.
Driving, like, you can drive... Okay, I got my license, great. I can drive basically anywhere in Australia.
Yeah, but
And
Melbourne is like another...
You turn up in Melbourne and there's like a 900-ton tram behind you just bailing down the street, boom, and you hear it rumbling. Because, I don't know, for those who don't know, and I'm hoping you all do know, but... you can actually share a tram lane in Melbourne as a car. And that's scary shit sometimes. And then when you get to a hook turn, all these weird rules.
Yeah, you get turned from like... I don't know. But
God.
yeah, Melbourne's just weird.
I remember watching way back, there was an episode of Houseos. You remember Houseos?
Yeah, I remember.
With that little Italian Aussie dude or whatever? Yeah, that's such good shit. There was a whole episode dedicated to just taking the piss out of Melbourne.
No, really?
And their traffic rules, and he hated it. And he's like, this is such garbage. And he's riding a motorbike around, and he's just like doing like live moments and stuff. They're filming him, but he's out there like giving people a finger, and people are beeping at him like, what the hell? He's like, I don't know how to get it. It's like the worst place to drive, especially. When I lived in Melbourne, I was on my P's
you lived in Melbourne?
for 2 years, yeah.
Oh,
and
shit.
I was on my P's. Traumatizing.
Oh, wow.
Traumatizing. It was good though. It's easy as hell to get around.
Were you
like,
there originally and then moved here? Or?
No. I was here and then left when I was 17. Came back when I was 19.
Oh, fair enough. So
like,
you went on your own, like not with the family? Not...
No, I went on my own and lived there
fair enough.
by myself, which was
Bit
a
of an
cool experience,
adventure.
but it was pretty... it's definitely one of the most lonely times of my life because it was just... Because I just went there and there was no setup, no nothing. So it's like I turned up there, had no friends, had nothing. And it was basically like that for the rest of the time. So
Starting from scratch.
It was literally just me in the city. It wasn't me and anybody else. It was very strange because I lived right on the outskirts of the city, so I could walk into the city. Very, very, very close. And it was such a cool experience, but at the same time, yeah, it was definitely like...
What made you move there in the first place?
Girl. What do you think, man?
Yeah, fair enough.
What do you think, man? I was in love, baby.
Yeah.
I was like, she's...
Love makes you do stupid things, right?
Yeah, but... Thankfully,
thankfully,
in my case,
experience.
exactly.
It's
Thankfully,
all
in
an
my case,
experience.
it hasn't made me do stupid things. It's just made me do things I wouldn't usually do.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I
Whereas-
phrased that wrong. I don't.
No, but that is the way you say it, right?
Yeah.
It does make you do stupid things. When you think about it, you're like, why the fuck did I do that? And it's like, well, because love gives you the ability to kind of do things that you're afraid of.
And you always look back and you're like, fuck, why did I do that? You know, I wouldn't do it again, whatever. But man, if you go back, you'd probably just do the same shit again. If you don't know,
100%.
you just follow your
Well,
guts,
especially
man.
at that age when you got not much going on, and you're like, I'm going over here, because she was going to uni at the time, so
And at
she
that
had a whole
age-
big thing going, and then I had nothing going. So I was like, I'm gonna go live her life. It was one of those scenarios, but I still had such a good experience because I lived
You
at the
learned so
university
much.
with her
Oh, fair
in
enough.
the college,
Oh, damn.
and
Yeah.
I just like
So you weren't
experienced all
doing
the
a lot
college
of
life.
thinking with here. You were doing a lot of thinking with down there.
Yeah, and just party brain as well.
Mm.
Because I wasn't much of a party animal till you go to Melbourne. You have no choice but to go out all the time and party your ass off and do crazy shit. But
Fair enough.
the group of people I was friends with were pretty cool people, so I wasn't getting into anything too crazy. But it was pretty, uncomfortable just not knowing anybody and just having to get to know people like that because you have nothing. It was a strange experience, excellent experience, taught me so much. But yeah, that was that. And yeah, Melbourne's fucked road rules, so I think that's where we're at.
I bet.
But
I mean, yeah, poor Melbourne, man.
poor Melbourne, what's
Poor
going on there at the
Melbourne. They're going
moment?
through some tough shit at
We're
the
just
moment.
getting on top of COVID here in Australia, and then Melbourne gets a
Hit with a
death
second-
case.
Two. Today.
Two?
Mhm,
Oh,
two.
so there's the 80-year-old man first, and then
I don't know. I just saw the headline, so I don't know
Okay.
the exact details.
okay, so
but-
2 people have died in
people
Melbourne
died
now.
today.
So basically, Melbourne's in almost kind of full lockdown. I've
Yeah,
heard.
well,
The
not
army,
a full.
the army reserves in there or something enforcing. I don't know if it's curfews or what are they doing there. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
why
some
would they call the
suburbs
army?
are in like full shutdown completely, and now because it's like it's the second time around with the lockdowns, a lot more people are like kind of over it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people
They sort
refusing
of
to.
and look, to be honest, I'm not surprised. I feel like if it was to happen here again, a lot more people would be, pushing against the idea of staying at home, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Because you can only do that for so long, man. Like I get, it's such a shitty situation because
Yeah.
no one knows what to do. I feel like these leaders, they have to do something, but they don't
They
know
have
what
to
to
make
do.
a
They have to
decision,
make
yeah.
a decision.
Oh yeah,
But I don't know if they're making the right decisions.
but it's not an enviable place to be in at all, especially at this time with everybody on edge looking for what's next to do, kind of whatever else. And yeah, what can you do?
Well,
What can you do? You don't want it to. But the thing I think is everyone's going to get it eventually, right? I mean, you'd hope not, but just get over and done with. I mean,
Well,
shit.
I just don't see this virus ever disappearing completely.
No. I mean, unless they.
Man, there's always going to be some sort of small outbreak, and you know what I mean. We're
Yeah,
always going to be
exactly.
chasing it.
Well, isn't there?
What's happening now?
I've
What's
heard that
happening
there's
now?
some new thing called. There's a new swine flu coming out of China.
Ooh, I don't
Right
know
off the
about
back of
that.
this.
I don't
I've
know
heard,
about
that's what
that.
I've heard. A few people told me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they say it's
Is that
legit,
the
but
brain
obviously.
eating bacteria thing? No,
Fucking what?
because I saw on
I
ABC
hope
News
not.
today.
Jesus.
In Florida, someone got, I don't know, they found this guy with this brain-eating bacteria. Apparently, it's been around since like 1960s or something. And since then, only 149 people got it, and only 4 survived. So, kill-death ratio is pretty high.
Jesus, something to flex on, isn't it? Jeez.
Imagine if some shit like that comes out of nowhere, and just like fucking everyone who gets it, like pretty much dies.
I definitely
What would
don't want to
happen then?
stress too. It just makes me freak out sometimes. Usually I'm pretty alright with it, but right at the moment I think I'm feeling pretty just like over all this virus shit.
Everyone's just a bit drained.
And it's freaky as fuck, you know? Freaky as hell. So,
But I think in a way, when shit like this happens, it sort of helps us reflect on our lives. And what I mean by that, we go around thinking we figured life out. All we have to do is get up, go to work, go to school, see our family, partners, whatever. And we just sort of, it's the same thing. We're on this routine, we're living the same sort of lifestyle. And then, some guy eats a bat, and look where we are now. But that's so crazy to think about. Someone in the other end of the world just has this.
There's
meal
always going to be people like that, though, who want to fuck something they shouldn't fuck and eat something they shouldn't eat. Let something suck on them that they shouldn't. You know what I mean? It's like someone's always out there doing weird shit. Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know anything about Asian culture, but, like, why the fuck do you need to eat a bat, bro? We've got enough meat out there.
Well, that's the thing. China's population is so much, and it's not the best when it comes to looking after its people.
Yeah.
Like, because I have a few Chinese friends, and pretty much what they say, like, they got nothing else to eat. Like, they have to eat, you know what I mean?
Serious?
Yeah, well, they don't have enough chickens or what. Like, we're cool here.
Where do you get the bats from?
Just, man, people just catch it.
Step outside your apartment and shoot a bat.
Well, not really.
You know how they get, like, killed on the power lines?
Just
get a ladder and you grab it. Lunch.
You get a Lynx bottle and a lighter.
Oh, guys.
Barbecue, just eat it off
Call
the
out
thing.
to the kids. You're like, lunch is ready. All 9 kids run out there like, yeah, and you give them a bit of bat. COVID. There we go.
Fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked.
Yeah.
But, man, that's how it started. Someone was like, oh, look at this tasty bat. Let's have it in some soup.
That's why we need to get to
There's
Mars.
so many memes coming around the internet with that.
With what? With the bats?
Like, I saw one before, it's like, on the internet, it's like someone just, like, filming the Asian market, and it looks all nice in the nightlife, and then they turn, and there's a bowl, and then they turn a bit, and there's just a dead bat sitting in the bowl, and it plays some, like, silly music, like, oh, shit, you know, like...
We go again.
Yeah, here we go again.
Here we go again.
Some dead bat, and the bat's just, like...
But it could be anything, man. It could be, you know, I don't know, a dog goes and bites something and then your dog licks you and then you get it.
There's always something.
You know what I mean? There's always something out. By the way, I need to stop saying. Last episode, I said you know what I mean way too many times.
Right.
So I just said it just then. I'm going to be careful.
All right, what I'm going to do is if I can figure out how, I'm going to set up a counter for it. And it's
I think I've been good so far this episode.
On the YouTube version, I'll have a little counter down the bottom. If I figure this out how to do it,
or like we do like a poll at the beginning of an episode where people get to vote how many times I say you know what I mean, and then the winners get a special message from.
You get free merch when we make.
You get a minute of video of me just saying you know what I mean.
How nice! What an incentive, huh?
Yeah.
Bloody hell! No, you get an ASMR video from us because this mic is very sensitive, right? Look at it; it's got a hair on it. You'll probably hear this. Fuck me. We'll eat an apple into the mic together.
Ooh, that's pretty dope.
Because, dude, take a sip. That is gonna be so loud.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's so loud, and all that water and stuff. It's surprising how loud that stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bit of ASMR on this mic. I reckon we should do a secondary ASMR channel. You know?
Yeah, why not?
I am ASMR. That's what we'll call. I don't know. Fuck. I don't really know. I don't give a shit either. Who cares?
So we're just free rolling with this episode, by the way.
Yeah, this is gonna be down to the dumps. Kind
Yeah,
of
well, last episode, so we thought we'll do a bit of research, which was actually pretty cool. Like we do want to do more of those, because it's sort of like what you said. It's like a learning journey for us.
Yep.
It's something we can look back and like shit. Like I actually learned so much and I've been telling people at work. I'm like, oh, did you know that? You know, 16,000 miles per hour for 7 months.
Well, that's what we
Everyone's
want.
like.
Yeah,
you know,
well, that's exactly
I love that.
we want, but we're not going to do that every episode because it was a little bit exhausting last episode. We put so much effort and kind of like there was a lot riding on it in our heads.
Yeah, well, I think
like even just starting the episode, we were like real stressed about it.
We went on like the intro went on for way too long. I said, you know what I mean, way too many times.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the thing is. You know, we want to do those episodes, but at the same time...
And we definitely will. It's just we figured out straight away that we can't do that every single time because...
Because it's not easy talking in front of the camera for an hour and a half.
Not at all. Once you get rolling, it's easy as hell.
Yeah, once you get rolling. And that's what we're sort of finding it as well. So yeah, this should be a pretty chill episode. Hopefully you guys will stick around.
Hopefully an easy listen.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about a bunch of different things, anything we can think of, but like not like our last episode. We don't have a whole bunch of notes that we have to get through because that was kind of last episode. Even though it was great, I thought.
Oh yeah,
And
I do
from
want to
what
do more of those.
100%. But you know, I feel like it has to come naturally what we're interested in, and then we do a bunch of research and go, oh guys, check this out, and then we bring it to everybody and say, here's this, and then they get interested. We can't just kind of like, you know, oh, did you know this and this about this? It's like everyone's like, yes, we did. Next. Oh, okay, what about this? Yeah. So we don't want to do anything like that, but
it was fun.
It was heaps of fun, and it's always very uplifting. You get a lot of energy out of doing it. So I hope anybody who's listening does as well. But this episode's going to be kind of, you know, listen to it before bed probably.
Well, if this doesn't put you to sleep, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
No, it's not that bad.
Speaking of weird segue, but jiu-jitsu people will understand. Yeah. So.
Yes. So what's happening tomorrow?
Yeah, so we got jiu-jitsu back on tomorrow for us, for our lesson. It started today, but we don't train today because our classes aren't on a Monday, it's on a Tuesday. And we are about as hyped as you can get for it because it's been 5 months.
133 days.
133 days.
Yep.
From our
that's
last
a lot of
class.
Minutes.
Well, not even our last class, from the Friday last class. Or what is it, the Saturday or Sunday? When they would have actually had to stop. Because they train through the weekend sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, from whenever till today, it was 133 days, and that is a long time to go out with something that really makes your life spin. You know what I mean?
Way too long.
We're very excited to get back in, and our coach is more excited than us to get back in. He's more excited than anybody else. Yeah, he's so pumped. And
that's his life.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like we were still at the honeymoon stage of jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Where, you're very excited to go and train. I mean, I hope that honeymoon stage. I mean, just looking at everyone there who's been training for years, some people, they still have that excitement. I just think jiu-jitsu is something you can't really explain. Because I've seen jiu-jitsu before. I've watched, you know, I listened to podcasts. I've watched people do it. But experiencing it is a whole
Very
another
different.
level. It puts you in a mind frame nothing else ever.
Well, when you do it, then you can understand the way people talk about it, because you hear people talk about it and you're like, oh, yeah, well, I mean, it sounds very interesting. But in your head, you're like, everyone gets into something and this is just their crew. But it's like, I really feel you give someone 6 months of training, that person's going to do jiu-jitsu for the rest of their life. You give anybody in the world 6 months of training, they're going to do jiu-jitsu for as long as they can after that, right? So it's not easy. I guess it is an addiction. I guess
it is.
It's a very good one though. It's the best one you can have. It turns into a lifestyle. That's a lot of what our coach says. Is, you know, you can do jiu-jitsu, but then you can take that extra step, and it can become your lifestyle, which is, I mean, obviously what you want it to become.
That sort of happens naturally. I mean, I noticed that with my lifestyle, how much jiu-jitsu was affecting it outside of the mats, and I never thought,
Jesus, that's a cat, ladies and gentlemen.
Cat, right? Hello, Charlie.
This is my cat Charlie. She came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and scared the shit out of me. So if you're just listening to the audio, might as well check out the video.
There's a black and white cat that just jumped onto the side of the couch, and
dude, cats are fucking scary. To me, cats are fucking... Look, that thing can...
Yeah, let's talk about cats
face
for
up right now.
Imagine if she was the size of a tiger. You wouldn't feel so safe.
No.
You know what I mean? They're like the ultimate...
Oh,
Look how dopey she looks.
Oh my God, I feel like she's going to fuck my face.
She's cool. She's chill. She's not going to hurt you.
All right.
What's
her name?
Charlie.
Charlie.
But she's the most passive one. The other one you saw, the ginger one, she's like... She'll murder something every time she goes out. So we gotta lock her in every time, because... We've got a nice family of possums living around here that I want to keep alive. I see, every night I'm out there, I see a little baby, probably like this big.
Oh, possum.
And those are the ones she gets. She gets all the little ones. Aww. You know, eats them whole. I'm just like, no more. So
eats them.
Brings them in here sometimes. When I was younger, she used to bring them in and just fuck, man. And they'd share it sometimes.
Savage.
I think I got a picture of them sharing a possum together. It's disgusting though, and it's not okay. So. I don't know. I got to the point last week where I was literally willing to put her down. I was that pissed off about the possum business. Yeah, I got so furious because I was just like, all cats do. The most invasive species, cats. I love cats. I have 2 cats. I love them, but they are.
Yeah, he's not actually gonna like.
Oh, who knows? No, none of you guys will know. No one will know.
I don't want to know.
But they're a very invasive species, and they don't have a natural predator, and they eat everything: birds, mice, freaking rats.
Gosh, I feel like she's gonna.
No, she wants a pat. That's what she wants.
Okay.
Look at her patty caking. She wants a little pat. Yeah, see.
Oh, okay. She's.
I don't think they can actually see that because it's. But they might be able to actually. Hey, Johnny.
Well, going back to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, go back to jiu-jitsu. It definitely impacts your life in a crazy way because jiu-jitsu is so much more than just a martial art. It starts, level 1 is the physical martial art. And then all the levels beyond that is like self-improvement, self-realization, all bettering yourself in so many ways, learning how to not be so antagonistic or be so antagonized by other people, how to handle your emotions in a very like calculating way, not to just like burst and because when you are emotional, it's hard to think and make a good choice.
That is true.
And that's what jiu-jitsu, especially when I was doing jiu-jitsu, I would get so like I would never get angry at certain things that I used to always be pissed off about.
100%.
You know what I mean? You have a shorter fuse, and then when you do jiu-jitsu, you're not stressed about shit because who cares?
Because you're constantly in uncomfortable situations, and you have to get out of it.
And you're like, why get fussed about this?
Yeah.
Because you think back, you're like, man, I got fucking Kong on my back, or you know, whoever else just smashing you to bits. It's like making the uncomfortable totally comfortable.
That's right.
And that's ultimately what jiu-jitsu does.
Being uncomfortable, right?
So I think that's a good thing to know because then you're not just going to jiu-jitsu for the physical activity, which is awesome on its own, but then also watching yourself kind of grow through the process. And that is difficult when you and I have just kind of got our second strap, on our white belt, and then this 133 days off. It did feel like a lot more because we were still in that very fresh stage of like learning a lot of stuff. Nothing was like ingrained yet, I think.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
we still know how to move and do stuff, but it's like there's a break that kind of stopped a lot of that learning. So it's going to be interesting to see when we get back.
Agree. It is going to be very interesting, but I think it will be just back into it straight away.
For sure.
I don't think you will have like a down sort of moment. I think it will just be like, yep, business as usual.
For sure.
I'm hoping it's that. I mean, yes, our body is going to take a bit of time to sort of adjust to that intensity because we know how intense jiu-jitsu can get.
But there's no open mat.
Yeah, but
that's
still,
where most of the intensity comes from, mate.
That is true.
And we're just going to have, like, tomorrow is just an hour lesson. There's nothing afterwards. So we just turn up, do the lesson, and go. And I know, like, a lot of people I hear say, you know, you don't need to spar as much. Like, the thing you have when you're younger is that you got to spar all the time. You know, you got to really get that kind of experience through the sparring and the heavy hits and all that rubbish, right? But it's like you don't actually need to do that so much. And
no, you don't.
That's what I'm curious to see how different this program is compared to the last one, where we don't have open mats after a lesson. So we're literally just learning moves, drilling. There's going to be no, fighting, and because that's when you get injured. That's when I get injured.
That's what most people get injured.
Yeah.
And look, me and you both, we've been to a few seminars now. One with Master Hoyler Gracie, and also with Professor Jason from Canada, and both been very, eye-opening. Just talking to them, learning about their experience, and they both pretty much said when we were asking them, if you can give yourself an advice, if you can go back and talk to your one strap white belt, what advice would you give?
Train smarter.
And they all said train smarter and not that intense. Because now they're saying they're older now and they got so many injuries.
Is true. It's like
so maybe this would be a good way to
100%.
step back and actually sort of.
Well, that's the mindset I'm trying to get into is like let it be okay that you're not, because I would use the open mats a lot to get all the energy out of the week. You do 2 open mats, maybe 3 open mats a week. If you're lucky, you're fucked. You're fucked, man. Like the open mats are, like an hour of just straight up rolling, and they're brilliant. But yeah, injuries happen there. You push yourself, you go a bit crazy. So and when you're younger, you can handle those. You can handle that
'cause
shoulder tweak and that neck tweak.
You recover a lot quicker.
The older you get, though, I bet all these injuries are going to come back, and then especially if you get injured when you're older, it's like that's it. Those injuries probably stay forever. Like my left shoulder has been buggered since I started jiu-jitsu.
Oh, really?
And it's only just healed up a little bit. So I'm glad that there's no open mat that I can get back into and just... Because sometimes someone's got you in a hold and you don't want to let go. You know, you don't want to tap out because there might be a bit of pride mixed up in there. So there always is. I know you got to let go of it, but there always is a bit of like, I don't want to give up here. I don't want to quit. But that's the whole goal of jiu-jitsu basically, is to be okay with losing, because... I mean, that's a skill in itself to know when you're kind of beaten.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
because you can be like, "Fucking take me out! I don't care." And then you got a snapped arm, or you got to, and it's like you're a dumbass. You just got injured. It's no one's fault but your own.
Exactly.
So it's
I tap. As soon as I'm in a position where I know I'm not gonna get out of, I don't risk it. I don't care if it's a girl I'm rolling with. Yeah, you know what I mean.
I've just
at
got
the end of the day, you just gotta put your ego and everything aside. And you're 100% just there to learn.
I've just got way more fight in me than brains. Like 100%. Like I'll be in an arm bar and I'll fight that arm bar for 3 minutes. Yeah. And it's just getting fucked. Like my arm is getting so fucked, and I might get out of it, and I might not get submitted, but my arm is.
Yeah, is it worth it?
No,
just,
it's not.
Tapping.
And that's just me being that fighter, and your brain goes out the window, and then afterwards you're like, why did I do that? Like that's totally a waste of
I guess that's what they mean. Train smarter, not harder.
Train smarter. Don't be a meathead, basically, because that's what Jason, Professor Jason, he said. He was like, we're all meatheads back in the day. We just beat the shit out of each other. Will said that as well.
That is true. Yeah.
He's like, we just beat the crap out of each other. There was no like training. It was all about how big you could get, and then who is the toughest. And you know what I'm saying? He's like, him and Kai would like train with their shirts off and shit, get ripped, and just who can be the strongest. You know what I mean? And it's totally not like that now.
Look just at the alpha coming out.
Literally, it's like, look at all the people we got training with us now. Like
everyone's chill.
I'm a pretty skinny guy. We got way skinnier guys, smaller girls, smaller guys, and they all do fine.
Deadly too.
As fuck. It's like a little nugget of death. It's crazy when you get tapped out by people like that, because then you go, the power of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's right.
The power.
I'll never forget my first lesson, man.
Yep.
Oh my god, I got tapped out like within, not even like 10 seconds, and I'm like, holy shit. And then I want to be able to do this to other people.
And it's bizarre how, if you think back to your first class, how far you've come, where you're never going to let yourself get choked out by those things anymore.
Yeah.
Because you learn how to defend against those, and then you see the progression. You're like, holy shit, I don't get choked up by that anymore. I don't let this position... You know what I mean? It's like you see the progress, and it happens so fast. But jiu-jitsu is so massive as a discipline.
Well, it's the way I see jiu-jitsu. It's almost like a language you learn with your body. So you learn to talk and express yourself with your body. And at the level we are in, we're still learning the alphabet. We don't even know all the words that we can construct and then form sentences and then paragraphs, and then like Will can write an essay. We are still learning the alphabet because we don't even know all the moves yet. Once we know, and everyone who trains jiu-jitsu says this, you never stop learning, which is fucking awesome, because they always make improvements. There's always moves change, and there's always sort of something going on. It's not like, all right, look, there's this 20 moves, you learn them, that's it, jiu-jitsu. It's not like that.
No.
And it's different, everyone has different body parts depending on who you're going up against. If the other person is bigger than you, smaller than you,
well, it's chess.
Yeah, it's like playing chess with your body. Yeah. And just like chess, you always have to think a few steps ahead. You can't just think on that one move that you're thinking of going. You're like, okay, cool, I'm going to go for this one. If he's going to defend that move, then I'm going to try to go for this one. Yeah, and I think, the more we learn, we're going to be able to sort of see things. Like right now, we can't see too many moves ahead because we're focused on.
We actually don't even know what comes after this. So with step one, cool, we're in step one, and then we're thinking of step two, but then we don't actually know what step three is.
And that's if you can get to step two. They might do something else, and then you end up in a completely different position. You're like, fuck, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah, well, that's what's so intriguing about it all is how you do have to think very tactically, I guess. It is like you develop a tactical brain like, you know, how do I approach this situation? Because you might get to a position and you're like, you might be in a good position to get an armbar on someone, but you're like, this person's arms are huge. I'm not going to get an armbar. So then you got to think, okay, what's next? This person's massive. I'm probably got to go for their neck. So what, from this position, how can I transition into like a back or, you know, a full back mount or like partly, you know what I mean? It's like, so you always got to be thinking, and if you blank out in jiu-jitsu, the other person's going to get you always. And you can just be kind of relaxed, but your brain's always working because
your brain
you
is
feel
always working.
It's almost subconscious sometimes because like you can feel, right, they're moving to that, they're in my half guard, whatever, stuff like that, and then you're kind of putting your arms and feet where they kind of already need to be without you realizing, and then you do the big move, stuff like that. So, but it's definitely going to be. It's like having a really high powered like TV aerial from back in the day. You know, it's like super good quality, right? But then that was maybe us before, and then after this 133 days, our aerials are fucked, and you're banging on the TV, and it's all static, and you're like, this thing won't work. You've got a coat hanger in it. You're like trying to make the coat hanger. Yeah, you're like, what's going on? It's not in color. You know what I mean? So you can't really visualize exactly. Your brain's not going to be as sharp as it was, and that's definitely. But
once you get into that momentum again.
Another thing that I was thinking, especially when we've rolled on the mat, like, you know, with dynamite and stuff, I'm doing so much better than usual because I'm not thinking and I don't really know what I'm doing. My body just feels what it's doing, you know? And obviously there's a lot of it that is like very natural now. I know how to do certain things because I'm good at that, but there's things I'm shit at, so I won't even try. But it just felt like this break let me step out of that jiu-jitsu brain and observe it from outside and be like, oh wow, like you notice things, but you're not thinking in a jiu-jitsu brain anymore.
I agree.
You're just going with it.
I agree.
Because when you train jiu-jitsu every week, you develop your jiu-jitsu brain, and you can't, you know how Will's like doing self-defense with us, and he's like, so if you're doing this against someone who doesn't know jiu-jitsu, they're not going to do this next thing and defend and do that and then this, and then you got to do this. It's like back and forth, back and forth. It's like you got to think this person's not going to know that next step. You just got to follow through with the first step you're going with.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Because in your head, you're like, oh, if I do this, they're going to do this. And then I have to do this. And then if that doesn't happen, you might be like, wait, what? You know?
Hey, hang on. No. Grab me here.
Yeah, it's like you grab them and they do nothing. And you're like, buddy. You're like in a street fight. Mate. You're in a street fight. You're like, bro, grab my wrist here. Grab the back of my neck.
2 on 1. Come on.
2 on 1. He's like, what the fuck? And then you just uppercut him. Bah!
And you're just thinking of Will's, funny examples that he gives during training.
I wish we could record
with the spider crawling. Or your Kylie Jenner body parts.
I wonder if like most dojos do stuff like that.
Oh shit.
Why she's looking at me? Oh, she wants a pat.
Fuck, she's scaring me.
Scared?
I don't know. Cats freak me the fuck out.
Charlie. She just wants a pat. When she does that, she just wants a pat.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, see?
Alright, okay.
She just wants a pat. She's very affectionate. She's not going to ever hurt you.
Okay.
Unless you... Actually, you could do whatever you want to her. She would never hurt you back.
No, I won't.
I throw her around sometimes.
You want to come down?
No, she won't. She hates it down here. Oh, okay. Look at her paw. It's all sooty. She's got a dirty paw.
No, she likes me.
Yeah, I know. Don't be afraid. She's fine, man. She sleeps with me. She's like always in my room. She's the best.
Have you? So just going back to what we were talking about again with jiu-jitsu. Now that we've been away from it for some time, and you're saying how you can sort of look back. Do you think now that we're going to go back into training, you'll fall into that?
Yeah, 100%. As a white belt, it's impossible not to.
You think so?
Because I don't have that. I don't have the ability to separate. It's like once you get back into jiu-jitsu, you develop the jiu-jitsu brain, and that's. I mean, I'm sure you have moments where you can like look outside and be like, "Oh shit," I notice that. Especially when you film yourself and watch yourself, you notice a lot.
We need to do that again.
We definitely need to, because
it'd be interesting to see now.
Oh, dude, because even watching those ones we did, I'm like, fucking. Yeesh,
yeah, I know.
I know. Like it looks very clunky, and you don't feel clunky whenever you're doing jiu-jitsu. You think you're doing really well, So it's always really good to film and look back at yourself. I mean, it's not narcissistic to film yourself. Go ahead, film yourself. It's a good idea to have a visual representation because, like I said, when you're doing jiu-jitsu, you're never seeing what it actually looks like, you know? And that doesn't matter though, because I guess what jiu-jitsu feels like is better, but, you know, you can tell the difference between a brown belt and a white belt.
Oh, yeah.
Just by the way they move, you're like, oh.
Well, white
like
belts
if you
are
watch
usually very
if you watch
spazzy.
silhouettes roll together,
You could
you
tell.
can probably tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can probably
that'd
tell.
be actually... That'd be cool if
Just
you
have
could...
silhouettes of people.
Yeah, and you're
You go,
trying to
"Who's
guess
that?
their belt.
Who's that? Yeah.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
That would be cool. We should take it to Will.
Yeah.
Be like Friday night silhouette jiu-jitsu. And you do it behind like a white screen.
Yeah.
And there's a light like going onto it.
And
then you see all
people
these people
vote
rolling.
who's the white belt, who's the blue
It
belt.
probably looks super gay, bro. It looked like a bunch of people doing it. Man.
I'm sure some people would be obvious, like who they are. You know, if you see Kong on the other side, you know.
Just smashing someone's head and just bloody hell. Yeah, but then you get like skinny blokes like me that all look the same.
Yeah.
I reckon.
But I'm keen to get back into it. I'm
a bit nervous as well. Like just to
yeah.
turn up there, I want to see how it's gonna be and what the lesson's gonna be like. Because, I mean, an hour is gonna feel short.
An hour always feels short.
Yeah, and that's gonna be it. There's no after that because they've got another lesson, so we can't stick around. And it's like everyone has to be out before they can even start the next class. So we're probably gonna finish 5 minutes before. 5 minutes, everyone has to get out then, so that the next class can start on the dot.
Yeah, no hanging out, sitting on the mat.
No hanging out, no chatting or anything, which is going to be very strange.
Yeah, because I find those moments you actually end up learning so much in those moments after training because you roll with someone and you're like,
you and I both
can you show me that move? Or...
have probably learnt more from that experience than, I mean, we learned so much from Will, but then it's like when you learn it from 5-6 different other people in the open mat, they all give you their perspective on this one move. And you suddenly just
or
like,
they'll
holy
choke
shit.
you the fuck out and they'll be like, hey, you know how you put your hand here? Next time, don't do that. Because if you do that, I'm going to choke you out every fucking time.
Yeah.
So then you go, okay, all right, well, next time I'm not going to do that. So then you might be rolling with someone completely different. You're like, oh, okay. Well, and that sort of stays in there.
That's why I'm going to miss rolling with the higher belts. Yeah. So with our dojo at the moment, because of COVID and it all getting back on, it's everyone's basically being separated belt-wise. So I think it's like 2 strap to 4 strap white belt, and then beyond that, it's all coloured belts together, I think. And then 2 strap white belts below is like a beginner's class. So everyone's going to be separated, and we used to always roll with coloured belts, you know, and you get your experiences and your advice from them. And they usually have the best to teach you. They have the most to teach you, and especially people like, I don't know, like, you know, Daddy, he teaches me fucking so much. Because he's an assassin. He won't go easy on you. But then he'll go, hey, yeah. He'll say that. He'll be like, oh, yeah, when you put your arm there, don't fucking do that.
Yeah, he's like,
or he's like, you almost had that.
Yeah.
Do that again. And he'll put you in the position, and he'll go, now do that. He's so good at teaching stuff, but he's never, like, going to take it easy on you. Whereas, like, someone like...
He's going to humble you every fucking time.
Humble you every time, and that's perfect.
Every
And then you get a
time.
different experience from, I don't know, let's say Dynamite. He'll be like, oh, bro, 1 sec, go back. Do this, and then you'll get it, and he'll be like, all right, let's keep going. He'll walk you through that. You might have been half guard, and he was like, no, you're doing it a little bit wrong, mate. Put your leg here, put your arm here, and then you're in side control, and he's like, all right, let's keep going.
But you go for a submission, and you're like, oh, why is he not tapping? And then at the end, he'll be like, oh, dude, that was actually very close. Maybe do it this way to tighten the choke
a little bit more you could
I'm
have
like,
done.
oh, cool. Like, just that small details, you know, make a big difference at the end.
That's what I mean.
That's what jiu-jitsu is all about.
But that's
going to
be
detail.
interesting to not have that.
Yeah, look, I mean, saying that, we're still going to have 4 strap white belts.
Yeah.
We were just around the corner from blue belt.
No, that's fair.
So they're still going to have there's a lot of people who are not blue belts, but very highly skilled. You know, so there's still a lot of people that we can learn from outside of our, what our professor teaches us. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting not rolling with, brand new white belts either. I mean, I don't personally like rolling with, 0 strap white belt just because they usually try to prove a point and, they get a bit physical, not so much about technique.
You didn't do that your first day though, did you?
No, I didn't, but everyone's different, man.
Yeah.
Like some people have a lot of ego and a lot of pride.
Because I remember coming in the dojo my first lesson and being so nervous Did I just let people do whatever they want?
Dude,
because
I
I
was
was so
shitting
scared.
myself.
I was like, do whatever you want to me. Because I can't stop it anyway.
Yeah.
But it was like that. And then there are some people who come in, I think, who've maybe wrestled before or something. Like, I think that one guy I've told you about before. Actually, 2 guys you know of. They've come in, they've done a bit, and they're strong as fuck. And they kind of, they don't do jiu-jitsu, which is fine, but it's like you... I know this will sound rough, but it's like in jiu-jitsu there's a hierarchy. And there's a hierarchy of respect. I'm not saying I have respect, like I want respect. I'm just saying you respect
Yeah,
people
because
above
you know...
because they know more than you.
Yeah, and especially now, once you go through it, like even... I mean, we're only at the beginning of our journey.
Very
like,
beginning.
This is... like...
You wouldn't even say level 1.
Yeah, you know, we just started this shit. But once you... Even if you do it for 6 months...
Yep.
You realise how much effort... it goes into it, how many hours, you know, how much sweat, how many injuries you go through to get to where you need to. And then you look at someone with a blue belt and purple, and you're like, fuck, I've been doing this for only a short amount of time. And you see them, you know, wearing a purple belt,
And they
brown
come
belt.
every night you come still.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck, you have so much respect because you're like, fuck, man, you've been doing this for so long, you know? So...
That's the only thing, because then when that happens, my fighter does come out and I will feel challenged. And I know you got to leave that stuff at the door, but I can't. So when a brand new student comes in, he might be a bit bigger than me, and he's, you know, and I might go through 6 injuries that roll with him just to prove a point. And
Yeah,
that's so toxic, man.
Yeah,
like, I should not do that, but I always do. I'm like, all right, you want to fight? That's fine.
I've seen you get... You know, during a roll, I've seen this guy get, you know, you get those crazy eyes. I'll never forget. It was actually just before this COVID-19 shit started happening. You were rolling with a brand new white belt and they were going for a footlock. And you were just like, oh yeah? You literally like had your foot and they're just trying to like fucking break it. You're like, just, okay, all right, you're done? You're done?
I felt so bad after that because I went to him and I was like, hey man, we're all good. Like, because I was like, that's, if someone did that to me and I was a brand new white belt, I'd feel totally unwelcome. You know what I mean? It wasn't good at all that I did that, but it was like, you know, he was a bit older than me and he was like, you know, I just felt challenged. I don't know why. And like, yeah, I definitely did stuff to him that I really shouldn't. I was like, stuck him in a knee and belly, grabbed his collars and just drove my knee. Like, that's not a knee. Like, it was so bad, man. And I remember you watching and I was like, I should just chill out. I need to chill out.
This is getting a bit intense.
Well, that's what I mean. I have that in me.
Yeah.
And I think Will knows that. And that's why he sticks me with the people sometimes.
I think you're still, like,
people.
you're still very young as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's, you know, the older you get, you know.
But jiu-jitsu
those sort of
definitely
things.
squeezes that shit out of you.
Oh, big time.
Squeezes that stuff out of you.
It sure does.
And that's why I'm a bit worried about this break. Because it has come back. I've been lifting weights, doing my boxing.
You're like,
and I'm feeling really good, right? And it's like you get back in there.
Yeah.
And then you got to have that mindset again that everyone's equal. But these guys are all better than you.
well, we're actually going to be the bottom of the barrel.
We're going to be the bottom of the barrel.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
We're not going to have any 0 straps or 1 straps.
It's going to be us 3, 4.
But I don't mind that because white belts, like I said, sometimes they just, you know, especially if they don't have any straps, they're still trying to get a feel of it.
Well, that's the thing. This is going to be perfect because we're gonna be the, like you said, the bottom, and then therefore everyone else we roll with is going to be better than us, and it's always better to roll with someone who is
100%.
a higher position than you.
But like what I was trying to say is usually people who don't have anything will always try to prove something. Hey, I'm going to prove to you.
See what they can't do.
Look how good I am. Look, I'm actually this good. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have 2 straps. You know, I don't have any.
Well, that's
but
because
I'm
they
try
don't
to
actually understand what that means at first.
Exactly.
It's the same when you come in your first day of jiu-jitsu. You don't actually understand what a 2-strap even means. You don't understand what a 4-strap is. You know, you're like, oh yeah, blue belt, I'll be there soon. It's like, bro, and then you suddenly start training and you go, holy fuck, and you get your first strap maybe after however long, and you realize how much that means. Then your second strap, that means even more, and then so on and so on.
But so I like the fact that it's not easy to get your straps.
Shouldn't be.
You know, you feel like you fucking earned it, you deserve it.
It's not
and
even,
you feel proud, man. That's what Will says. Did you sleep with your belt? Cause you're like, fuck yeah, like, man, dude, first time I got my strap, before I even got to my car, I was sending photos to friends. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, I just got my first strap. I'm not even kidding you, dude. Oh, when you got your first strap, dude, I remember I was fucking
Yeah, well, that's weird.
so
Honestly,
happy,
when
man.
I
was
got,
so happy.
I actually had a different experience. When I got my first strap, I wasn't even that chuffed, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think because I was seriously focused at that point. I just wanted to fly through all the belts. And then after that, Will was like, you remember him saying on my second strap, he was like, you got to chill, man. Chill out, otherwise you're going to hate this. Because you're just focused on just blasting through it all, and you're not enjoying it. You're not enjoying jiu-jitsu, you're just like, this is something I have to conquer.
You're
So
like
my
playing...
second strap was so much more, like, I was like the same as you. I got it and I just looked at it and I was like, 2 straps? You know? Like, holy shit, like, you literally think back to all the training you did and all the, like, the effort you put in.
All the times you got kneed in the face, you busted a lip,
man.
almost had your arm broken.
Or just had it just had your ego absolutely you just felt humiliated sometimes.
Yeah.
And even getting past that feeling is a big deal.
Because there'll be days where you rock up and, man, it's just not your night. And you get fucking choked the fuck out by everyone.
Oh, but how good are the nights when it is your night?
Oh my god. You're like, yes, I tapped out 3 Dude, I tapped out a blue belt today.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll never forget my first submission, but also the first time I tapped out a coloured belt. I'm like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, it
feels amazing.
It's pretty...
Nothing matches. Like, I played a lot of sports.
Yeah.
I did swimming when I was younger. I played soccer. I played tennis for a bit. Like, I've done a bunch of shit. I've done running. But nothing gave me the satisfaction that jiu-jitsu. You know, I've scored goals. I was a striker when I played soccer. That was like, you feel amazing. But man, getting a submission, because you know, when the other person taps, you know, they're pretty much saying, all right, I give up. He had me. If this was, you know, life and death situation. And it's the same thing, you know, when the roles are reversed, when you tap, it's a very humbling experience because you go, fuck, if this was a real life and death situation.
If this was out on the street.
I'm dead. Like, literally dead. Because if you get your arm snapped, what the fuck are you going to do? You know, if it's a life and death situation. If someone chokes you out.
Well, practically in jiu-jitsu, in a street fight, you're not going to tap out. They're going to choke you until you go to sleep, then they'll let you go. So yeah, it's like that tap out is totally submitting to that person. And it's different every time. You might catch them, then they catch you. So it's very different, but you have to approach every single time anything happens as its own little learning experience. Because, you remember when we had those tournaments?
Yes. Intense.
And I got peanut that time? Dude, that was something intense. Else. That was something
that
else.
That was intense.
Because I was literally like, we were going then. That was real. That was like, we're going. And he's very nice. He's a super nice guy.
I love that guy.
But it was like a bit scary. It was like,
fuck,
shit,
I miss those guys,
and that's why I'm going to be super depressed that we're not going to see them. But maybe drilling is that drilling class.
I think so. Well, look, we'll have a chat to Will tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. Very excited. Look, if you've never done, you know, people who are listening, if you've never done jiu-jitsu, any sort of interest, if you have any interest, man, just give it a go. Trust me, you won't regret it.
I recommend it to literally
everybody. You will not regret it. It's the best thing you can do for yourself physically, mentally, and it's like having a community, man. Like I said, I've done a lot of sports, but I've never connected with a group of people like this. You know, when I was playing soccer, there was 11 people on the pitch. We had reserves. I don't know, the team, we probably had close to like 17 people. Man, I'd never bonded with this many people, like this close, where I actually see them as close friends.
Yeah.
You know, invite them to my place, whatever, just hang out. Me and you starting this project.
I don't know what that's like attributed to. It's like, is it the level of respect you have because you know what people, like you said, go through to get where they're, what belts they're at, so you know, you kind of know what you all know what you're all going through, kind of, and they know what you're going through, and that's why it builds this community. It's like we're all doing the same thing. Yeah, we're
all in the same journey,
you know what I mean?
And we need to help each other out, because you're not going to get good at jiu-jitsu by yourself.
No.
You can't do jiu-jitsu by yourself.
No.
You
need someone to choke out.
Or you need someone to have your back, so then you can learn how to escape and shit and all of that stuff.
Literally during COVID, I was like, fuck, I've got no one to train with, and I just get on the concrete and grab Honey and put her in a back mount, and I'll like choke her out, and she's like, what the fuck is going on?
Like, what?
Yeah, she's like, what? And I'm just like, I'm missing it so much, man. But it's gonna be so sweet to be back, and
Yeah, I'm keen.
It's going to be...
Keen as a bean.
I think it's going to be much more relaxed than last time without the open mats. Because open mats are brilliant, but I think, especially for someone like me, it brings out the competitive side, the competitive side in me. So it's going to be brilliant having just lessons. And then, you know, because whoever I listen to that is, you know, a black belt, like, you know, a lot of the podcasts I listen to, maybe Jocko or something, and he does his podcast with another black belt, and they talk a lot about how useful drilling is. They say, and a lot of martial artists as well, they say, sparring isn't really the thing that gets you good, it's drilling. If you drill that move 1,000 times, you're going to know that like
the
speaking,
back of your hand,
you know? You're going to know like, you know, how to say. So I reckon it is going to be, because we never drill. Before this, we never really did any drilling, did we? There wasn't a time where we might once or twice ever. I think once or twice ever have I gone, hey man, can I run this move on you 5 times?
Yeah, that's true.
And I wonder if this drilling class is literally going to be like, all right, you choose 2 moves, and you spend the hour doing those 2 moves or 3 moves or whatever, you know? Your mate chooses 2 and you choose 2. And then you guys just do that over, you do half an hour each. That'd be crazy. Imagine how good you get at things, you know? Or Will brings to each drilling, he's like, all right, this level of belts, this is your move. Coloured belts, this is your move. And everyone's just going to drill that themselves. Like, that'd be crazy. Because that's what I keep hearing, is drilling is the thing that gets you good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, well,
the physical art of jiu-jitsu. Like, that's really what makes you a kind of a killer, you know what I mean? Like an absolute savage with it. It's good stuff. I've been watching a lot of like Gordon Ryan stuff lately. He's an assassin.
He's getting pumped up.
I've just been watching all this jiu-jitsu now. Like, I've rewatched Quintet 2. Love that shit.
Did you see the documentary that Will mentioned not too long ago?
I don't think so, no.
Fuck, I forgot the name of it now. But there's some very good documentary. It's on YouTube as well. Some like good jiu-jitsu documentaries.
I'd love to watch.
I think it's called Choked. Yes.
Oh, I think I've heard of it. Is that
very good? It's about, you know, Gracie
family, right? Oh, I think I've watched it.
Very good.
It's about like the origins of kind of
very good.
Even UFC as well, like them getting into UFC, and like them before their like feud with
just the journey, like even the lifestyle, what they eat, what they, you know, the lifestyle that they have because of jiu-jitsu. Yeah. You know, all the drinks they have, all the fresh fruits they eat, like how they fuel themselves up. Yeah. It's very simple way of living, but in a strange way, it's very satisfying. I don't know what it is with jiu-jitsu, but it makes you feel very complete. It's almost, you know, when you it makes you sort of look inside yourself and listen to yourself in a weird way. I don't know. That's what I sort of, that's the kind of thing I get out of it, and that's why it helps me a lot, like with my, you know, everyday sort of work. Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing, isn't it? It just, you suddenly realize after you've done the first week and then the second week of jiu-jitsu, you get back into that rhythm, and it's suddenly just, life's easier in a way. Like I said, you don't get frustrated with things. You don't get angry at people. Yeah. You know, and you just feel better because. And especially if you go to work and it's a shit day and you know you got jiu-jitsu afterwards, you're like, dude, man, when I'm having a shit day at work and I know I have jiu-jitsu at night, I'm like, you know what? It doesn't really matter. Like, who cares? In about 2 hours, someone's gonna try to fucking kill me. Yeah, and it's so good. You know, and it's so good. Yes. But like, you know, you stress, you know, oh shit, I can't find this paperwork. Oh, I gotta get this done, whatever. Shit, deadlines, timelines, whatever. And you're like, who cares? It's not the end of the world. Last night, someone was trying to kill me, and I got out. I survived. Well, that's what it helps you put things into perspective. If you look at it like that, for sure. If you look at it like a lot of people who do jiu-jitsu, I think they go, oh, it's like life and death. You're, as that person, like you said, taps you out, or you tap them out. It's like, imagine if every time you tapped out, you're dead. That was a multiverse you dying. You're submitting, you're like, okay, I submit. You know what I mean? Because you're forfeiting your life, basically, to this person. You're just dead, and then you continue. Yeah. Well, Joe Rogan says, how do you know when you wake up in the morning you're the same person you were yesterday? Maybe you wake up in another universe. And everything you remember is just, it never happened, but it's just a memory in your head. You know, so like when you wake up tomorrow, you think this happened and you think you're the same you, but it could be another different version of you waking up in a different universe.
But sleep is like the intermission, and when you wake up, that's a different universe.
Yeah, sleep is like...
So when you sleep, this all broke off into some different universe, and then when you wake up, you're in a different universe. So every time you sleep, they separate.
Or maybe there's different versions of you for every day. So like this teal lives the same day over and over again. So you wake up and you do this again, and then this is another version.
So literally my consciousness is just living out every day that I've ever lived.
Maybe.
But then there's an actual physical me living out every single day in eternity.
In different, multiverse, universe, whatever. There's different...
That's like that Rick and Morty episode that just came out where Morty wants Rick to build him like a reset button, like in a video game, like restart checkpoint.
Oh yes,
but
I've seen that.
every time he restarts the checkpoint, he actually kills himself in another multiverse. Yeah. So it's like when he hits that button, he skips into a different timeline, and him in that
one's actually
timeline
dead.
Kills him. So that's exactly that.
Yeah. So who knows, man? There could be versions of us out there right now recording the first episode.
Yeah. Speaking of kind of crazy, weird space shit, you watched The Midnight Gospel a while ago, didn't you?
Yes.
When it came out.
Oh, please go watch that. It's on Netflix. Midnight Gospel, Duncan Trussell.
He's a champ.
Please go watch it. It's amazing. It's only 6 episodes, but...
Yeah, it might be a bit strange, though, just because the way he's done it is he has a podcast, and he has basically built the episode around the podcast. So it might sound a bit strange all of a sudden, but that's because it's all audio from his podcast, and it's like a 20-minute excerpt of like him talking about something crazy, and then all the animated stuff, it's very like Adventure Time, right? I think it's the same animation style.
Yeah.
So all this stuff's just happening around that has almost no bearing on what they're talking about, and it's so brilliant, but it's so... Man, it opened my mind up. It opened my mind up like crazy.
That last episode with his mum.
Yeah, that was intense.
Who actually passed away from cancer, I think, if I remember correctly.
That podcast was apparently like 2 weeks or something. I actually don't know, but it was very soon before she died.
She died before, obviously, she died before this Midnight Gospel thing came out, but...
That was a crazy episode.
That is a crazy episode.
Another crazy one was the one, I think it's like the third one or the second one. It's like they're in a meat factory. And they like herd up all those animals and they stick them in the meat factory and they're getting crunched up into shit. And Duncan Trussell and the person he's interviewing are just like nothing. They're just meat.
Oh, I think
you remember that one?
Yeah.
That was a crazy... I gotta go watch all this stuff
I watched all of them in like a day.
Yeah,
I watched the first episode. I'm like, oh my God.
This is insane.
Yeah.
But I think it is confusing because even though I knew he had a podcast, it confused me, but I was like, why is this...
Because you're like,
and then suddenly I put that together. I went, this is his podcast. This is why this sounds like this. And it's so... not scripted. It doesn't sound scripted like they have a script. It's like literally just 2 people doing a podcast. I was like, it's his podcast.
That's why the cartoon is like, it's all wacky.
They just go around and do all this crazy shit. But definitely watch it. But bear in mind that it's like centered around a podcast. Once the episode starts, like in the beginning, it's all like a cool thing. Him and his teleporter, his like vagina teleporter thing. He sticks his head in. That's
and it
so
just
funny.
beams into a different
it's
universe.
Oh fuck, man. Well, that's what I mean. It's like, how do we know it's not something like that?
Yeah, how do we know we're not being...
He's like put on the simulator, and then all these worlds he goes to, are they all simulations?
Yeah.
All those people he interviews who think they're in a world that's real.
Do you know that philosopher Alan Watts?
Yeah. I think we talked about it last time.
But he talks about life and whatnot, and he always says he's got one of his famous speeches. Actually, Xbox One, not Xbox Series X, used it in the reveal trailer.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Alan Watts' speech where they talk about he talks about dreaming and life, and he's like, "What if you could have the power to dream a lifetime? 85 years of life." And
fucking Xbox, whatever.
But man, listen to Alan Watts. That shit is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I went through a period of listening to a lot of his stuff, and that really opened my mind. I went through a period of just listening to a lot of philosophers. And Eckhart Tolle, or whatever.
Yeah,
he's very interesting.
He's very interesting.
Yeah, my family got really into him. They still are very into him. But he has a lot of... I mean, they all have good stuff to offer. You just can't treat them as, like... your Jesus Christ, because a lot of people do.
No.
Suddenly you've got this philosopher and he's saying all this stuff that resonates with you, so you go, he's God to me and everything he says is real, but it's like you got to understand that they're all just people with their own ideas as well.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't real
You gotta,
stuff.
you gotta see what you get out of it.
I'll
what
watch
you
an
learn.
Alan Watts video or an Eckhart Tolle video, and I'll look in the comments, and then it's like top 10 reasons why he's wrong, and it's like, well, this is his opinion and his philosophies and his ideas.
He's just projecting his
conveying
ideas.
to
That's
people.
it. And you either
But
take
people
it or
get
you
really
don't.
offended. It's like, listen, you either take this on board or you don't.
But man, people get offended for everything.
Yeah, so
How do
forget those people. Fuck those people, man.
Like
fuck those
fucking hell.
people.
People get offended for everything.
Everyone's got an opinion, and unfortunately, most people think their opinion's correct. But Eckhart and Alan Watts, very good philosophers to listen to for sure.
Duncan Trussell is sort of a philosopher.
He's 100%. He's just on like the full whack spectrum. Like he does what he
Fucking love
talks
that
about
guy.
whatever he wants, and he's like he's on a real crazy. His show, The Midnight Gospel, is like the perfect representation, probably
Of who he is.
Of who he is, right?
Yeah, big time.
That's why it was so interesting, because it's like you and I have probably listened to many of his episodes with Joe Rogan.
Oh,
And they're always
my
insane.
favorite ones.
Because you don't know who especially when you start listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, you don't know who any of these people are, and now suddenly we do. Because you find the people you like,
Yeah,
you
and
find
then
the
you're like,
people you
oh
like.
my god, you know,
He's done an episode with him.
Rhonda
I've got to listen
Patrick
to
is
that.
on again. You know,
Exactly.
You're like, oh cool, I want to learn something about nutrition.
You don't know who any of these people like. For me, it was like with his fight companions, not knowing who any of these people are, and now all of a sudden
you know
I'm listening
everyone.
to the fighter and the kid. You
Yeah,
know what
I
mean?
know, right? Yeah,
Brendan and Callan
yeah.
doing that, and then I don't know if you've heard this one, but Brendan and Theo Von
Yes.
have started their own one.
Oh, okay.
You got to watch
I
that.
thought-
It's called King
what's-
and the Sting.
Okay.
It's just pure trash comedy. They
really?
just have a good time. It's
Dude.
nothing serious. Like you know how Theo
love those
is.
guys,
Like
yeah.
Theo's just
I
insane.
fucking love that guy too.
I actually saw him live in Brisbane.
Oh.
In the Powerhouse,
Oh, really?
South Bank.
Yeah.
Shit, what is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I saw him
That's fucking
and he
cool.
was hilarious,
Oh,
bro.
he would be. I'd love to see.
He
him.
was so funny because he just kind of does his own thing sometimes. Like
Mm.
he doesn't have like it sounds at least like he doesn't have a scripted thing he wants
He
to
just
get
goes
through.
with it.
And he just goes, and sometimes that's his funniest shit. When he just like says something to the crowd or something, and you're just like, he's so unique,
Yeah.
man.
He is
And
a
I
cool
mean,
guy.
they're obviously not. You can't listen to them all the time because I've gone through phases where I listen to them all the time, and then I get sick of it. I'm like, oh, I can't handle this anymore.
Yeah.
But that's why I love like dual podcast, like Brendan and Theo, Brendan and Callan.
Khan and Teal.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope we get it going. But that's why the Joe Rogan podcast works so well, I think, because he has a guest every time. He's never done one on his own, has he?
No,
But
I
he's
don't
got a
think
guest
so.
every time, so it's always like it's two people, and it's a brilliant format because then you really can, and especially when two comedians do it together.
Yeah.
You got to.
a
You
lot
might not like King of the Sting as much, but it's still hilarious. It's much more comedic than Fighter and the Kid or something, let's say, because Callan brings that kind of like serious comedy. Like he's still very funny, but
Yep.
Theo is just like Theo and Brendan. They just degenerate into
Yeah.
like the best ridiculous comedy
It's
ever,
fun.
and they
It's
go to their
always
little
good fun.
segments and stuff. It's brilliant. So
It's fun.
definitely watch them. But yeah, that's definitely what.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
one day we'll get there. Maybe.
Fuck man, I imagine Joe Rogan has us on when he's all old.
He's like 70 years old. We'll be on Spotify.
He's just falling asleep. He's like, "Oh," and we're just talking away like, oh,
We're
this
like,
is so
we're
cool,
like,
man.
so he's like, oh, tell me about your story. And we're like,
And we're
"Well,
just
man,
like,
we
wow,
started
look at-
jiu-jitsu. And Bobo says like, have you ever tried DMT? you know, Joe
I'd just be
Rogan
going,
memes.
wow, look, there's the samurai sword everyone takes photos with. Wow, there's the wolf, on his Instagram.
Yeah,
He's always
yeah,
had the
yeah,
wolf. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
holy shit. I'd just be skitzing
Take a
out
photo
going,
with Marshall,
I can't
his
believe
dog.
I'm in here, bro. Yeah, and then Jamie, I'm like, Jamie looks like that? Like, you don't even know what he looks like, really.
Get in the self, that tank that he's got. What are they called? The flotation tank, self
Oh, yeah,
deprivation.
the isolation. No, what are they called?
Isolation tanks, right?
It's something deprivation tank.
Yeah.
Sensory deprivation tank.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
Because
it.
he's all into that cryo stuff and the deprivation tank.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, bro, but he's like full psychedelic.
Yeah, he
like,
full
loves that
goes
shit.
on trips without taking anything.
I
just
think
on
I
those.
think literally the one he just did with Russell Peters. He was talking about his DMT trip.
Yeah,
And he's like, yeah, I huffed one and it kind of got me to the door. Then I huffed three. I was like, Jesus, Joe. And he's just like, and even Russell was like, damn, man, because he's never done that. And he's like, I think, yeah. Anyway, we don't need to go into it because I don't want to burst their podcast bubble. Go listen to their podcast.
Yeah.
But they're brilliant.
Not Russell Brand.
Peters.
Russell Peters. He does jiu-jitsu too.
He's got his blue belt, he said, on the podcast.
I know. He's crazy. How good is that?
It's insane.
Keanu Reeves. He's a purple belt.
Bro. What?
Yeah, he's a purple belt.
What an assassin. So he's literally John Wick.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he does one of the Machado brothers, and I don't know much about them, but apparently they're a real big deal.
Yeah. No, he's purple belt is
He's
legit.
literally John Wick. Dude, I'm so pumped for
Ashton
Cyberpunk.
Kutcher
So fucking...
is
Yeah, all
he
these
does
celebrities.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
All these celebrities do
You
it.
know that singer Pink? They signed up their daughter and shit. Her daughter got her first strap in Jiu-Jitsu. Go and check out Jiu-Jitsu for kids. Like, go on YouTube, type in Jiu-Jitsu for kids, anti-bullying. Some of the Gracie family members sort of put this sort of thing together, like just against bullies, especially in America. You know how bullying is pretty fucked up. And they teach kids how to get that self-confidence, because that's what Jiu-Jitsu gives you, that confidence, man, where you can look someone in the eye and like, hey, fuck off, you're not gonna fucking push me around. You know? I wish I had that when I was younger.
Or even not that. Be like, hey man, what's the problem? Like, why are you mad?
Yeah.
I'm fucking angry because you fucking knocked my beer. It's like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Come on. And you know, just like...
And Jiu-Jitsu isn't like, all right, I'm going to teach you so you can fuck people up. It actually, they teach you to walk away.
Yeah.
You know,
it's basically the art of how to run. Not actually run, but it's like how to run. But if something does happen, you have the ability to take care of yourself and the other person.
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu is the art of taking care of your opponent.
It's not about, all right, I'm going to fuck you up.
They're not going to have a bloody nose. They're not going to have a busted lip. You're not going to knock out any of their teeth. You might.
It's just
you
about
might stretch a
controlling
few ligaments, but
it's just about controlling them.
If you were ever in an actual street fight, though, you'd 100% go straight for the choke. You wouldn't do arm locks and shit like that.
No. Yeah.
Like, I would go straight for the choke because that'd put someone away. Because you break a crackhead's leg, he come limping after you like a zombie. He'd be like, I'm gonna get you, man. It's like you got to choke. You got to choke someone out.
Yeah, choke him out, put him to sleep, and then just walk away.
Hey, mate. Wake up. Where am I? He's like, I don't know, you fell over, bro.
You alright, mate? And then you become best mates with the guy.
Yeah, you'd be like, dude, I just found you here. What you doing? He's like, I don't know where I was. Let me walk you to get you a cab or something,
go to a pub, mate.
And then suddenly this crackhead's your best mate.
Yeah.
That's how we became mates.
Yeah, pretty much.
You just don't remember.
Who was a crackhead? We don't know. We'll let you.
Who do you think looks something like a fucking me? Especially my mum. I look like a little rat. I'm like,
come here, boys.
You want to do some jiu-jitsu, rat? Like, oh, God, no thanks, man.
This has been fun.
It has been fun, but I don't know.
What minute? Oh, has it been an hour now?
Yeah, we just hit an hour, so, I mean, we could stop if we want, but I think I'm getting a bit tired.
Yeah, me too.
And I got work early in the morning.
Yeah, me too. I still got to drive 45 minutes.
Exactly.
Oh,
well.
Oh, well.
Fuck.
Anyway,
that was good. It was good that we did this, and...
yeah, this was a bit more chill. And
very.
I don't think I said you know what I mean that many times, so I'm happy.
Nice. Well, you can listen to it back on your way to Sydney.
I know, right?
Because I probably won't be able to get this out tomorrow.
That's cool. I'm not flying tomorrow.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it won't be out tomorrow, and then probably Wednesday. I think Wednesday is when I'll have to get it out.
That's cool.
So, yeah, who knows?
That's cool.
But anyway.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed this one. Like we said, it's very relaxed, and we didn't talk about anything like existential and space and shit, man. We just kind of, talked about ourselves for a bit. And sometimes we're going to do that. We're just going to have episodes where we talk about our own stuff, and sometimes we don't have anything to talk about. And that's kind of what this was. And who knows, we might have next episode like last episode. We find something, and that's what we want to go with. So,
but either way, hopefully you'll find it interesting. You'll find it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wide spectrum of stuff, because we don't have a thing that we have to do here. We can do whatever we feel is right. So
we're still trying to get a feel of everything, get the hang of it all. We're still trying to improve. It's like I said earlier today. Like, it's not easy talking in front of the camera for an hour or whatever. So we're trying to get better at that. It's the same
as anything, though. The more we're going to do it, and that's why especially because it might not have felt so. I had the kind of feeling this episode. I almost kind of had a feeling I didn't want to do it, but then I was like, well, if you just keep doing it, then it just becomes so much easier.
Then you get comfortable being uncomfortable, right?
Exactly.
It's like jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu in this, mate.
Yeah,
we got some hobbies now.
We're still no strap podcasters, and hopefully, we'll be a black belt one day.
In 6 months, we might be half a strap.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
No, it's been fun.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time.
Hopefully. Yeah.
See you later.